Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning to the beloveds watching online. Thank you for joining us wherever you are and whenever it is. We're grateful to have you here as part of this spiritual community. Just taking a breath. I was off last week. If you weren't here last week, neither was I. Had a chance to spend some time with my sister for her birthday, and yeah, she doesn't get up here very often. She lives down in the middle of the state. So just good to have the two girls together and catch up and see what life is like. And wow, she's busy just as I'm busy. But it's just very sweet since my parents passed in the last 5 years that, you know, I'm down to my siblings as the ones who are my true family. You know what that's like, and trying to keep your siblings together, you know, and stay connected without a mom to kind of be the center of it all. Yeah, so good to be together when we can be together. I'm thankful for that. So thank you for that time. And thank you to Michael and Mary Beth Spear who filled it. No. Reverend Shirley. I'm thinking ahead when they will be here. Sorry about that, but Reverend Shirley, how many of you were here for her? What a love, right? Love talking with her. She's got a beautiful meditative ministry that is on Zoom on Fridays. So if you're interested in that, just look up Meditative Life Ministries, and you'll find access to joining her on Fridays for that, which is just a beautiful experience. And she always has special guests come in and chat. So it's a fun time. So thank you to her. And here we are today. I'm ready to start a new message series. And at one moment as I'm preparing for this today, I was thinking, you know, I could do this in my sleep. But then as I really started looking at it this week, I realized, wow, there's just so much more to say. So let's see what comes out of my mouth. We don't know yet. I'll be making this up, I think, as I go along. But of course, what we love to do here, first and foremost, is sing and get our energy going. And thank you to Highest Good and all these beautiful harmonic sounds coming to us with delightful divine words. And if it feels good to you to stand while you're singing, let's do that now. Otherwise, stay comfy.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And you know what, Kitty? Whatever comes out of your mouth, we're just going to follow the wave. We're going to ride the wave, right, guys?
Good thing.
You ready to ride the singing wave together? You know this one. Let's sing. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Everybody, one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
Leah missed that, and it's Jamaican Independence Week this week.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, she just told me that. How timely of you.
Okay. Always checking these days what key I'm in. One love, one presence, one power, and we are grateful. And sometimes we see things other than that. This song is just a prayer, really, that we would see that one love. Blue skies or storms, what do I see? Spirit in me, give clarity. Sickness or health, what will it be? Spirit in me, give clarity. Light, not darkness, hope, not despair. Abundance, not lack. I see what's true, what I see as you. The diamonds of dust, what do I see? Spirit in me, give clarity. Famine or feast, what will it be? Spirit in me, give clarity. Oh, light, not darkness, hope, not despair. Abundance, not lack. What I see that's true, what I see was you.
Can we show that slide again, please? I want you to notice these words that are in bold, especially the last line. I see what's true when I see as you. Will you say that with me? I see what's true when I see as you. That's almost literally right out of my message for today. And we didn't talk ahead of time. So I love it when these songs show up. Spirit is just working its way through us to create a message for you. So there must be something important here for you today around this topic. I just want you to say it one more time together. I see what's true when I see as you. And who is you? Spirit, divine mind, source, creator. Let's take a moment to just turn our thoughts inward where we connect with that presence. And we just invite our consciousness today to open up to that presence, that divine mind that sees only good. And that as we see the good that God sees and knows and is, we choose today to allow that good to flow in and through and as us. This is the prayer of the heart that sees as God sees. I choose to see and know and be the good that God is and knows. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. All right, up here on our screen is what we call our invocation. We're invoking, we're calling in this level of consciousness. So will you say these words with me together? There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Sing it again. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. And it returns to me. And it returns to me.
Any of you guys do research on churches? I'll bet you do. Two ministers over there in the corner. Did you know that attendance at church is headed downhill? Yeah, has been actually. Up here on the screen, well, yeah, let's go right to it. Let's go to the statistics. Up here on the screen, there's since 1960, there used to be 49% of adult Americans going to church pretty much every week, and now it's down to 26%. So that's a big drop, right? Yeah. And of those people going to church, well, heck, maybe they don't go to church and they still pray, but I looked up how many people pray daily, and it's 44%, but it was 58% back 20 years ago. So down a bit there when it comes to prayer. And then of those people that are praying daily, 54% of them are over 55. And the crowd 18 to 24 that's praying daily, only 27%. So basically the trend that we're seeing here is that the younger you are, the less you pray on a regular basis, which is interesting, yeah? It says that 35% of United States adults no longer identify with their childhood religion. Anyone in this room that can relate to that? How many of you were a child and went to a Unity church? Anybody? Anybody? No. Yeah. So that says something, doesn't it? Okay, so then 33% of US adults are saying that they are spiritual but not religious. So they don't have any formal path. Is there anybody here that classifies, when you're filling out those surveys, who here would choose that as your answer, that you're spiritual but not religious? Okay, so no formal path. So Unity isn't a formal path for you. Just think about that. I'm just asking. Oh, Unity's a formal path? Oh, maybe. It depends on how you look at it. We'll talk more about that. But out of all these, 30% and 40%, 86% of United States Americans believe that they have a soul or a spirit. So they know that they're eternal, and they may or may not address that issue while they're in this physical experience, because otherwise our numbers would be higher. They'd either be going to church or they'd have some type of prayer life, or I don't know. Maybe there's other ways to be spiritual but not religious, or have a soul but not be even spiritual. I don't know. I was raised Baptist, so, you can kind of guess my confusion around some of this. My prayer life began when it comes to praying. I was probably 3 when I can remember praying. And you know how if you went to any kind of church growing up, oftentimes they would find stories for kids about God that came out of the Bible, but they were written for kids. Remember those? They had kind of like cartoon pictures, and, here's God flooding the earth and killing all these people, and here's God, pouring the Red Sea on top of all the Egyptians, and sorry. Unity's view of the Old Testament, and basically the scriptures in general, would be to track how human beings believed about God, and it changed. So if you read through the Old Testament, you'll see that in one section of it, God is basically having dinner with them. And by the time you get to the end of the Old Testament, they've never even seen God. They never have contact with God. He's totally gone silent. And then it's everything in between there. So that's when we in Unity describe the Bible, we would say it as it's partly history and it's partly a tracking of how humans' understanding of God has evolved over time. And we see that throughout the Bible. And even though the very first chapter, the very first book of the Bible in Genesis, it describes that you and I were made in the image of God, we immediately, as human beings, returned that favor and started to make God in humans' image. Can you see that? If you look at the many descriptions of God, especially in the Old Testament, you will see a lot of description that describes very clearly the ego of the human being. So, when there's a withholding or an unforgiveness, you know what? Let me throw this screen up here that kind of shows you the view of God from that perspective, and certainly what I grew up with. And also, there's some ideas here about how we might respond to that type of God. So if you can see up here, it's everything from an old man, white hair, white skin. someone that gives and also takes away and sometimes withholds altogether. It's considered a person, but a spiritual person. And he's got a punishing attitude. He's got a moody attitude, because you just never know what kind of mood he's going to be in and whether you're going to get what you pray for or not. And so when we approach him with insecurity and feeling less than and not really sure that we warrant God's attention, because this guy is expecting things from me that I can't possibly give. Like I have to be perfect and I have to thank him all the time and I have to worship him all the time. And if I don't, then what? I literally just heard, this is not just from my childhood. I literally just heard this week. I was scanning through radio stations and landed on a Christian radio station where a gentleman was, I'll say, preaching and trying to get us to understand that if you think you're going to get access to God because of your goodness, you've got another thing coming. If you think you're going to get access to God because of God's mercy, you've got another thing coming. It has nothing to do with that, supposedly, in this person's point of view. So there's still that point of view that we have to behave a certain way, believe a certain way in order for us to have access to the Spirit. And there's, very strong possibility that if we don't get it just right, we wind up in a miserable place for eternity. Okay? So has anyone heard that story besides me? Of course, yes. So we're talking today about prayer. I was especially captured by that statistic about who prays daily, and that the numbers are going down. And I'm thinking that it's perhaps that people just don't believe in God the way that we used to. And that maybe they don't even think God requires prayer, or maybe they don't even know there is a God. Or if they do know there's a God, we're not quite sure what kind of God we believe in. And if that God requires prayer or answers prayer, there's a lot of questions, I think, in people's minds today, a lot more than what we just took for granted based on what the Bible told us and our Sunday school teacher told us. So I'm in that 33% category that no longer aligns with the religion that I grew up with. But I gotta say that the first time that I walked into a Unity church, it was like, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Because there was a minister, first of all, a woman minister, standing up on stage. First time I'd been to a church where a woman was the minister. And she was finishing her prayer with, "And so it is." And I was torn in that moment whether to run screaming, "Blasphemer!" or sticking around and looking into why. How could she possibly say that? I mean, to say, "and so it is" at the end of your prayer instead of "amen" or both, is like saying, it's going to show up, God. That's your order from me. That's what it first hit me like. You better do this, God, because I'm saying this is the way it's going to be. So it is. Okay? Anybody have that thought the first time you heard it? Remember the first time that you heard it? Any little insecurity around that? Or you're like, yeah, score. I'm going to win me some prayers. Who knows? Who knows? And that's why I want to talk about it. Who knows? And so it is. What the heck that means? Why do we say it? And a whole lot more about prayer that I want to look at in the next few weeks, because I'm taking it on as a mission. I will not see prayer go down on my watch. And I really believe that if you understand prayer, at least the way that Unity tends to teach it, you will see how powerful and amazing prayer is. So I'm hoping that you'll hang in here with me, because we're going to look at who we are praying to and who we're praying from and how prayer works and how we work prayer. All of these points of view are going to give us a chance to maybe revive our prayer life and perhaps experience it in a whole new way with a whole new set of results. Are you willing? Okay, thank you. So just a very gentle look at what prayer is up here on the screen is, in my opinion, is I see it as a bridge that takes us from the human experience that we're having every day into the spirituality that is not just God, but us. And it's kind of a reset in any given moment that you choose to pray. It's a reset for you to remind yourself that you are more than this body tells you that you are, or your bank account says that you can afford, or the number of friends that you have, that you're a spiritual being. So otherwise you wouldn't be praying, right? So let's begin with that concept. Is prayer is going to remind me first and foremost that spirituality is involved in my life. And when we look at it that way, I'm asking you to go further than just God is out there somewhere, but that God is in here within, and even further, God is praying as me. We'll get to that more next week, but that one might shock you right there. So one of the things that Unity teaches about prayer is we don't use it to try and talk God into something and change God's mind about what's going on in our life. Now, as I grew up, I just saw prayer as, I need this thing, I'm going to go to God and ask. I want this changed, I'm going to go to God and ask. So what if I were to say, we got it all wrong? Or, well, let me just walk with this. What if instead it's about praying to remind me of the presence and what the presence is and how to work with the presence and how to express the presence? Prayer is to change you. Prayer is to change your mind, your point of view, your understanding of life. It's to deepen your faith because, as Jesus told us, it's our faith that creates our life. It's what we believe. So prayer helps us do that. Prayer is not about handing something off to God and just walking away. Prayer is about being involved in the transformational process, first and foremost, by transforming ourselves. So John 4, chapter 24, this is Jesus supposedly talking. And when you look at all the words that Jesus supposedly said, now keep in mind that these Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, they came anywhere from, 30 to 90 years after Jesus died. The first book that was written was Mark, and it didn't come into the scene until 30 years after Jesus had died. Nobody knows who wrote it, not Mark. They still don't know today who wrote it. Long story, I can go into that, won't do it today. But my point is that these words from Jesus, out of the many, many, many that he said in the Gospels, very few said, God is fill in the blank. As a matter of fact, the only one I could really find, maybe one or two, one of them was from John 4:24, where he says, God is spirit, sheer being itself. Now I'm reading from the Message translation, which is a little loosey-goosey, but I love it. All right, so God is spirit, sheer being itself, not a being, right? Sheer being itself. Those who worship him must do it out of their being, their spirits, their true selves. When I look at the word sheer being, I think of some of the descriptions we use for that are the ground of our existence, the ground of being. Have you heard that said? Paul Tillich, I think, brought that out. The ground of being, the essence of our existence, the all that is. That is what God is. So that immediately shifts our focus away from a humanistic version of some spirit on a throne, doesn't it? It's existence itself. Now, to put it in that category, I recognize that some of us may struggle with that because how do you have a relationship with all that is? And I'll be honest with you, I can't answer that for you. I can't. I know how I get there, but I think this is a very personal experience that you get to decide for yourself. And I had professors in seminary that would say, hey, I still lay in bed and talk to the ceiling. I still see God is up there. I still have a conversation with God. So I am not here to take that away. I say whatever way gets you into a consciousness of the presence of God, go for it. And if it still serves you to put God in a humanistic spiritual body on a throne, and that actually sets you free and reminds you of your own spiritual nature, go for it. But I'm going to hopefully offer a few results of prayer that I'm hoping we will get to where that vision of God may not serve you. All right? But free will is number one law in the universe. You get to decide how you see this presence. So we've got this ground of being, and again, some scriptures that help us see this from Jeremiah, Old Testament. Do I not fill heaven and earth, says the Lord. Fill, like a field of energy that we talk about in quantum physics. Fills heaven, that's the fifth dimension. Earth, that's the third dimension, and then pretty much every other dimension that could possibly be, and beyond dimensions. That is the presence that fills it all. Now, it's a consciousness, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It's aware, it's a power, it's expressing. So from Paul's letter to the Corinthians, he said there are varieties of activities, but it's the same God who activates all of them in everyone. And from the book of Acts, for in him we live and move and have our being. This is a presence that fills you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, every hair on your head, every thought that goes through your mind, divine mind is aware of. Some of them are actually God's thoughts versus our ego's thoughts. But this is a presence that's everywhere, and so this is why we use the word omnipresence. Omni, or all, one, everywhere, all that is. And it's also something that can become what we might call material. So none of this physical stuff that we're feeling and believe that we are could exist if it weren't being birthed out of that source, that presence. Is this making sense? Is this hard? It's okay if it is. It's okay if it is. Take it at your own pace. But most importantly, what I want us to see, the difference of at least how I grew up, was we're not separate from God. We're connected all the time. God within, God without, God all around, God as us. So see yourself when you're in prayer connected to this presence, this mind, this heart that you're praying to already. That every once in a while, God's thoughts and mind make itself known to us. But we're talking about, I'm with God. There's nothing to fear. There's only the presence of God. So that takes away our fear. It gives us hope. And it helps us realize that we're never alone. Ever, ever, ever alone. In that presence is a deep sense of peace. So when you're scattered and chaotic and in worry, come back to that presence of peace. We don't have to go anywhere to find it. We just turn within, come into your heart, and remember that it's present in us. And that whatever God is being, which is all good all the time, we can share in. We can share the same experience that God is having of life if we remember that there is that presence of goodness and infinite possibilities, and experience that divine potential just as God does. That's a big order. I understand that. So take a breath and take in only what you can absorb today. And if the rest belongs to you, it will find your way. It will find a way into your awareness. There's also this term of omniscience that we use, one mind, all knowledge, all knowing, that applies to the God that we're speaking to. So when we think God knows better, our higher spiritual energy has that same mind available to us. So what God knows, we have the potential to know. What God would guide us to, we have the potential to know. There is never a question that needs to go unanswered in this presence. It's constantly giving whatever it is we're calling for. Ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find, Jesus said. So here's an opportunity for us to set aside the doubt and the worry and what ifs and come back to, what do I know in God? That's the beginning of your prayer. What do I know in God? What do I know as God? What does God know about this? Trust me, you ask that question, it will come to you. If you will create a space in consciousness of peace and openness and ask your heart, what does God know? What does my higher self know in this situation? It will come to you if you make room for that to be known. This is a presence that already knows every hair on our head, knows every need before we ask. It's just waiting for you to ask. It's just waiting. We're involved in this process. One of the things that Charles Fillmore, who's the co-founder of Unity, said, there is but one mind, and that mind cannot be separated. Use my brain. I mean, you ought to know that about me by now. Overusing that brain in me looks like to-do lists and then worrying about it, right? Overworking my brain is like putting things in exactly the right order. Have you heard about the Enneagram, which kind of explains your personality type? I recommend you study that. And my personality type is the one that has to get everything right, follow the rules, do it according to what everyone says I should do. And that's when my brain and my ego are involved. If I'm awake and I can acknowledge that, then it's my opportunity to change my point of awareness to how God sees this. And God is never in a hurry. God is never desperate to get things done on time. God is never upset if it doesn't get done absolutely perfectly. There's no judging in this mind. So if its basic foundation is love, then the thought that you're holding is God. Just know that. If you're trying to figure out, is that my brain, is that my ego, or is that God? What's the foundation of it? Love. And not a human love, my friends. A love that is accepting all that is. A love that never judges, has no conditions, simply allows you to be who you are and sees the good in you. Okay? So if that love is at the basis of what you're thinking, now you're open and experiencing the omniscience of God. Does that make sense? We'll try it out and see. And we also have a third omni, the omnipotence of God. One power. There's only one power, one presence. We say that here every Sunday. It's the activity of the universe and beyond. It's the one force coming from the one source, and that force, its nature, is love. That's how it expresses in itself. That force is eternal and infinite, and it's available in and through and as us. So when we're feeling weak, when we feel like we can't do it, we turn towards that higher self in us and call on it. Because what we want to know about the omnipotence, the activity of God, is that it's an activity that is always giving of itself. It's always providing all that we need. Some of the scriptures from the Psalms 145 says that you open your hand, satisfying the desire of every living thing. So that was Old Testament, still seeing God as a human being with a hand, but still metaphysically interpret that. Basically, you open your energy and you're basically giving of yourself. From 2 Corinthians, God is able to provide you with every blessing in abundance. So when you're wondering if that power is going to take something from you, come back to that. Its nature is to give every blessing in abundance. In the book of Luke, Jesus says it's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Now, technically, the kingdom is the fifth dimension. And so if the Spirit of God, the power of God, is making the fifth dimension available to you, then there truly is no limit. That is our potential to rise above any limitation that this third dimension is professing and go above and beyond it. We want to know about the omnipotence of God. When we think of this power, oftentimes I grew up thinking God made me sick for a reason, or God broke up this relationship with my boyfriend to teach me something, didn't want me to be happy, I wasn't being good enough. Have you heard those thoughts before in your own head? So what if this view of God is no longer about punishing or withholding or yanking back from us or judging, but instead it can only be and give what it is. What is it? Love. What is it? Goodness. So no more blaming God for what we don't want in our lives. We'll talk about that over the next few weeks and how we use prayer. But the scripture, Jesus tells us that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. If God were divided and 1 minute being the goodness of the universe that sustains all things, and the next minute being punishing and withholding and judging and blaming, this universe couldn't exist. If there was, this just sidestep here to one little point of a belief in Satan, the devil, evil, if that were any kind of power, when we talk about omnipotence, if it truly existed, again, the universe could not stand because we've got two different powers. Ask a quantum physicist, can we have two fields of energy? No. We have one field of energy, we have one presence, and it is love and it is goodness. We're the ones that create the mess. And we do that through our human state of consciousness. So you're not going to get sickness from God. You're not going to get lack from God. You're not going to experience withholding from God. God is always giving. And as God is being what it is, it's being in us. And so technically we have access to whatever God is being. Therefore, we have access to all of our good. Now, some of the things that we have been taught about God is that God expects us to pray, to give thanks. And I'm going to just open up this can of worms and say, God doesn't need anything from you. But hey, I got scripture to back it up. Let's go to Acts. God does not need to be served by human hands as if he needed anything, because he gives everyone life, breath, and everything else. That's why I personally would say there is no need for God to forgive, because God doesn't take offense in the first place. That's a human response. That's an ego working. So no need for God to forgive. God simply is the goodness, and you are being invited to move into that state of being. Take a breath. I would say that the presence, the all that is benefited by prayers of gratitude, because here's what. If you and I are extensions of the divine, then what we experience, the divine experiences. One field, remember? One presence. And so technically, any thought you have and any feeling you have is contributing to this all oneness that God is, including all other human beings who are also expressions of the divine. So therefore, when we move into a state of gratitude, our frequency goes up, doesn't it? Your energy rises, and you are now contributing to the all that is. That presence is now experiencing a higher frequency as well, because you have chosen to move into a state of, look at the good in my life. Look at the good in my life. Are you still with me? Okay, take your time with this. Take your time. One last thing I got to throw in there, because I used to be a worship leader. And my job as a worship leader was to lead the congregation in songs. And in this process, our songs were all about praising God and praising Jesus, and sometimes even praying in tongues, singing in tongues. And I have a different point of view about worship today. I'm in that 33% that says, you know what? I'm thinking if there's only one presence, it doesn't worship itself. It doesn't need to be worshiped and adored and set up above the human expression of itself. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm just playing with this idea here. But here are some ideas of what I think worship could be up here on the screen. First of all, about maintaining a conscious awareness of God's truth in this present moment. What if, in this moment, I could shift my consciousness to think about what God is being in this situation? That could be considered worship. You've just raised your thoughts to the goodness of God in you, in your life. That could be considered worship, in my opinion. Secondly, feeling the presence of God as love and then sharing that love with others could be a form of worship. Because if we acknowledge love, we're acknowledging all that is, the one force, and we're choosing to be it. You know, what do they say about imitation is the sincerest form of flattery? Sincerest form of flattery. So when we are expressing love, we're just identifying with the truth of who we are and then giving it to others so that they can experience it for themselves. And finally, celebrating the divine in all beings is a form of worship. Acknowledging all around you, everybody in this room is an expression of the divine. Even the ones you see on the news and you have written off as not good people are also expressions of the divine. They may not express the divine as often as you wish, but guess what? Neither do you, neither do I. But in those moments where we can get to acknowledging the divine presence in all beings, we are in a state of worship. We're acknowledging what God is. Take a breath. I can feel your energy, man. I know what you're going through. All right, so as we consider these different ways of seeing God, maybe different than how we were raised, now ask yourself, how would God respond to prayer? Well, this is the thing. God's already responded to your prayer before you even ask. This is from Isaiah. I love this one. Before they call, I, God, will answer. Before you call. While you're yet speaking, I will hear. I had one of the most extraordinary experiences of my life this week. I was going along with a meditation that someone was doing online. And I don't know why it was different for me that day. But suddenly it was like God was, I don't want to use the word yelling, but I'll use that word now so that you can know this was obvious that it wasn't my left brain working here. This was Spirit speaking to me. And you should have seen, it was like instantaneous. I was having a conversation from Kitty, the human, and the higher self, and it would start with, but, and I literally couldn't get past but, where I had this really long question about why or how I should do something, and the answer already came. It's like I didn't even have to finish the question in my mind, and the answers were already coming. And it got to be so amazing that I just started laughing, and then I just started sobbing. Just sobbing. I could hardly breathe because the experience was so extraordinary. Do I have a doubt that God is there for me? No. And where is that presence? It's within me. And it's always answering. And it's also always giving of itself. It can't help but give all that it is. From Mary Alice and Richard Jaffola, they said, when we pray, it's the mind of God seeking to fulfill itself as us. As us. So when you feel that urge to go within, connect with your higher source, think as God thinks, just know that's God seeking to do that. Seeking to express itself. It's got a vehicle, this human being. It's got that vehicle that has a brain that can be instructed, and if we're listening, can actually do and express the fullness of God. So you have free will, and at any moment you can turn that off. If you don't agree with the highest version of God and all that God knows for us, that's up to you. And we're missing out on a lot when we forget that I came into this human experience as an expression of God. And if anybody should have the right to express, it should be our higher self. And to know that God's will for me is actually my will. We're one and the same. So let me finish by just giving you some ideas about how to pray, seeing through the eyes of God, as we sang today, okay? So ask yourself, how does God see or any particular problem? Well, first of all, there is never a problem in the eyes of God. There is never anything lacking in God. There is never any withholding going on. There is never any punishment going on. There is only a presence that knows itself. And what is itself? in every single situation. Let's take a look at this new list and see. All of that and more. I couldn't even begin to name all that God is. But just know that when you're turning to prayer, there's not a withholder on the other end of that phone line. There's not even a phone line. It's just your consciousness enmeshed with the divine consciousness. And it is being all these things: wisdom and understanding, love and giving, it's creating, it's divine life. You name the good in this world and beyond, it is God being that. And if you want to become a vessel of that, an expression of that, that's your choice. Pray on it to renew your mind, as Paul wrote to the Romans. Transform yourself by thinking on these things, seeing through the eyes of God, meditating on any one of these words, strength or power, depending on what you're facing in the day. If you know you're up against a challenge with somebody that you almost indubitably, is that the word, get into conflict with when you're together, choose love or harmony or allowing or acceptance as your word to pray on. And own it, claim it. We'll talk about how to do that in the next few weeks. But here's the thing. Since God already is these things, when we pray what God is, now we can say, and so it is. Do you see that? Now we can. If we're praying like, I don't have enough, don't you dare end your prayer with so it is. They hate me, nobody likes me, can't you do anything about it? Do not say, and so it is. Okay? You say, I am one with God's harmonizing power. I am one with the presence of divine life in every cell of my body, and so it is. That is an affirmative prayer. Yeah, choose your word. Just start off easy. Pick one word that applies to what you're going through. And imagine to your heart's content. Let's do it in meditation. To just imagine to our heart's content what any one of those words are that we want to be. So we're kind of mixing up prayer and meditation. We'll talk about that later too. So give yourself a minute to just, first of all, set the body aside by relaxing it. Allow the chair to completely support you. Just drop all your weight into that chair. And with that drop, you just feel every muscle in your body relaxing. You feel your feet connecting to this immense planet Earth beneath you. All of that is supporting you. And even more so, over and above the matter is a source and a force that allows matter to exist. That is the presence that we seek to connect with in this moment. Myself that the mind, the consciousness, the awareness of the one mind fully knows me in this moment. A mind that knows all of my needs is present right here and now. that knows the answer to every question. I know because God knows. And God and I are one. And I gratefully receive that wisdom and understanding. That which I'm searching for, I am searching with. And I am grateful the divine mind in me finds the answer that I seek and makes it clear, clarity in my life. This presence that fills heaven and earth is filling my body right now. A divine energy that is pure and perfect life. This animating activity of God is the light and movement and renewal and restoration in every cell. I gratefully allow that presence and power of life to have its perfect way in me and my body. And this presence that sees only good, knows my goodness, is my goodness. I am the goodness of God. And as I think outward towards others in my life, the ones I love and the ones I struggle with, I choose to pray a knowing prayer that they too are the goodness of God, beyond their human expression. God's goodness is present. And the God in them makes them one with the God in me. I am one with all beings, all life, for God and I are one. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the life of God. I am the wisdom of God. I am the strength of God. I am the creativity of God. I am the supply, substance, and energy of God. For God and I are one. And I allow that divine goodness to express itself fully and freely in me, in my thoughts, in my words, in my activity. one with the goodness of God. I joyfully live my divine life. And so it is. Amen. More fun next week. Even more personal next week. So I hope you come back for that. And I'll invite you in this point in our service to share tithes and love offerings as a way to allow the love of God and the supply of God to express itself as you to help co-create this spiritual community that you are creating together. Thank you for your support in this. For all of you watching online, thank you for your support. And that your gifts given can be done online at our website, unityinnaperville.org. Or if you'd like to mail checks, they can go to our P.O. Box 9733 in Naperville. And the zip code is 60567. So I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward while we sing. Thank you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Just acknowledge these words up here on the screen as just another expression of God in you, as you. So let's speak these words and allow them, your thoughts, your feelings, to connect with the energy, which is all that money is energy, and free it to be what you declare. Let's say these words together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, Beth.
Good morning. I'm Beth, and I'll be sharing the announcements today. If you're joining us online for the first time, welcome. We're glad you're here. Please complete the orange registration card at the welcome table and leave it at the information table. We'll be keeping you posted about upcoming events, and virtual newcomers can sign up for the weekly e-news online at our website, unityinnaperville.org. Thank you to all who helped grandparents raising grandchildren by donating school supplies or gift cards. They'll be delivered this week. Monday Morning Metaphysics meets tomorrow morning on Zoom. They're reading The Science of Successful Living by Raymond Charles Barker. Join Reverend Kitty for midday spiritual Q&A on Wednesday, August 5th at noon on Zoom. Bring any spiritually related question you want to explore. See the event calendar for the Zoom link. Game night meets Friday, August 7th at 6:30 here at Unity. We'll be playing Mulkey outdoors, weather permitting. Please bring a lawn chair. Backroom discussion for our online viewers is next Sunday, August 9th at 12:15. Check the event calendar for the link to the Zoom room after the service. Men's Unity Group meets next Monday, August 10th at 6:30 at Unity and online. And then lastly, if you have an August birthday and send your photo into admin@unityandnaperville.com and we will sing to you next week. For details or special instructions on all of our events, please read the event calendar at unityandnaperville.org or see the e-news gets emailed to you on Tuesdays. Our prayer chaplain today is Sharon. She's available to pray with you in the prayer room after the service, or you can email your name and phone number to prayer@unityandnaperville.org, and a chaplain will call you today by 1 p.m. Thanks.
I just have a couple other things. First of all, Daniel Nahmod is coming on September 6th to do the service and a concert afterwards. And his concert tickets are available out at the info table over by the windows. If you're watching online, you can get your tickets on our website, unityinnaperville.org. And also, if you know anything about our Food for Thought, every third Sunday of the month, we meet in the cafe after the service to talk a little bit about what we heard on Sunday, and we share some food together. This month, we're asking volunteers to sign up to bring ingredients for sandwiches. So there's kind of a list of potential items that you might sign up for out in the cafe. If you'll do that before you leave today, and you can bring those on the third Sunday, we'd appreciate it. And also, if you're watching online today, you can just send a note to admin@unityinnaperville.org if you'd like to contribute. Thank you for that. And let's stand as you're able for one last song.
And I'd like to add about the school supplies that you brought to share with grandparents raising grandchildren. There was such an overflow, an abundance, that they're now splitting it between grandparents raising grandchildren and Longwood Elementary. So thank you for your generosity. Yes. May you be well, may you be happy,
A common thread runs right through. What do you suppose that might be? Okay, beloveds, here's our closing affirmation for today. And if we can just know the first two lines, divine love, everywhere present, everything else will fall into place. Okay, so let's just let this sink deep into our hearts and say together, divine love, everywhere present, provides my every need. Would you take a moment to pass that along? Just say hey to somebody, show your love. Meet new people today, introduce yourselves, ask what they thought about the message, see if they want to call you a blasphemer. Or they're ready to dig in. Have fun every week, and I'll see you hopefully on Wednesday at midday spiritual Q&A.
Blue skies or storms, what do I see? Spirit in me, give clarity. Sickness or health, what will it be? Spirit in me, give clarity. Light, not darkness, hope, not despair. Abundance, not lack. I see what's true, what I see is you. Will time hangs or dust? What do I see? Spirit in